All right, I'm back with part one of the story as promised. As you can see, the title is Surviving a Narcissist. Yes, so this is gonna be my story about surviving a narcissist. I'm gonna start from when we met to now, but this will just be the first portion of the video. If you don't care or never experienced or you say you're not gonna experience, you could click off the video. Doesn't really matter. But like I said, this is my story and I wanted to share it. So let's just get to it. I wrote down some talking points because it's a lot. Like when I tell you it's a lot, and I just wanted to stay on topic because I'm not that great of a storyteller, but I felt that I had to get this out because it was important to me. All right. So, like I said, everyone will be anonymous and all that. So let me just start. All right, so I'm going to start, and like I said before, everyone will still be anonymous. So basically, I met this guy like the beginning of May 2020. So it was like COVID time, whatever. So I met him. Everything started smooth or whatever. Everything got bad so fast, but let me disclose to you guys that I had got out of a long-term relationship. And the situation that happened in that long-term relationship hurt me bad. Like, I was hurt, I was angry, I was frustrated. It was all of the above. So I was very, very vulnerable. So, we was hanging out, started talking about my past. The past came up, blase. He was like, I guess I mentioned someone that we knew mutually, and I'm like, oh yeah, no big deal, whatever. But then he was like, oh, I know your guy or whatever. And I'm like, ex guy at the time. And I was like, wait a minute, you know my guy, how? And then he was like, through them or whatever. And I'm like, well, like, not knew him, but knew him through them. That, like, knew of him type shit. Like, knew of him at that time. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I was just like, oh, okay. So then time goes by or whatever. Of course, me and my guy are still conversing. So this guy started to feed me stuff about my guy and about my life, basically telling me what happened in my life. And I'm like, how the heck does he know these things? Like, what is really going on? Like, how does he know what goes on in my life or what happened in the past? And the funny thing about it is I've never seen this guy a day in my life. So this is the first time I seen him. So it's like, how does he know of him or say how he know him like this? And I ain't never seen this man. So anyway, like I said, I should have, and as a, I shouldn't have never messed with him, knowing that he knew the people that he knew from the jump. But like I said, I was blind as fuck. I was vulnerable as fuck. I was hurt. And as a woman, it's okay. I admit that it was wrong. It was fucked up. But, I reaped the consequences. Obviously, I'm telling this story. Like, it's consequences for everything. And I learned quick. So, like I said, the mutual people and, like, a lot of weird stuff started happening after that. Like, okay, I had an off day at work or whatever. And so I went by my friend's house for like, who is this new guy? He seems like all cool or whatever. Like, what's going on? So we look up, we get on the computer, the sea capping starts, all that shit starts. So we started to look him up and all that good shit. And we find out that he's married and his age is a little different. Now, this man told me he was 28 when I met him. 28. Come to find out, this man was 36 years old. I don't know who the fuck lies like that. This person gonna tell me I lied because I didn't know if you would like younger dudes. Sign one of a narcissist, the lying. That's what narcissists do. They lie. And from the jump, it was all lies. But like I said, I was stupid. I should have left then, but I didn't. Or I should have stopped dealing with the person, but I didn't. And this is the story. So he was just basically like, yeah, I'm 28, and he was married. And he told me he only had one child. I don't know how true that is up until today. I really don't give a fuck at this point. But he told me he had one kid, and he had him and his wife were separated. I don't know how true that is. At this point, don't give a fuck. But like, it was all lies, basically, is what I'm getting to. So narcissists, they lie. Big time. There's more lies to come, and you ain't gonna believe these lies. So he was just like basically covering it up. I got paperwork on this. I got paperwork. Show me some paperwork. I don't know if it was bogus or not. Don't give a fuck. But that's just how that went. And basically, like, I should have fucking believed my people, because at the end of the day, like, I didn't know him, but like I said, I was blinded and hurt. So it's a learning process. So that happened. Then the second incident happened. Now, the second incident is like how people, narcissists, they take you away from everyone that actually cares about you, right? So Memorial Day weekend, I believe that's what it was, Memorial Day. Got dressed, went to my friend's house. I'm like, okay, meet this person. Mind you, they had already met him once. First impressions are a motherfucker. So my guy friend was like, nah, he ain't right. Like, something wrong with this motherfucker. And I'm like, well, let's give him a chance. Really? Like, I really like him. And of course, because it was a rebound. But I'm like, give him a chance. And then he like, I don't know. I mean, the first chance is, first impressions is a motherfucker. That's what's important. I'm like, you're right. And then so my other friend was like, I ain't got nothing against them. Come over here. We can kick it, whatever. Come over there, kick it. We drinking, chilling, chopping it up, talking. These have been my friends for forever. So it's like, it shouldn't be no issues when we go over there. So we go over there, and he like snaps at me for something. I was drinking, so I didn't really peep it. But of course I have my friends around, so they peep it, and they're like, why is he talking to her like that? Like, I'm not the type of person you need to like yell at and scream at to get your point across. No, I'm very calm and passive, and not even, I'm easy to talk to, easy to get an understanding with. Like, you don't have to yell at me. So they're like, why is he doing that? Amina doesn't know. Like, her other dude never did this. Like, they were compatible, actually. Like, they were seeing all of these things that, pros and cons. Or cons. So yeah. So then they had sit down, play cards or whatever, and he had won the game, like won a hand. It was some little money, no big money. And he was like, he had made it seem like my friends was mad because they lost a game, like her guy lost a game of cards or something. It was weird, and I'm like, and I'm sitting here like believing it kind of, because I'm like, damn, like she got mad. My friend me and her had like, our relationship had kind of it did go sour. Shit, it didn't kind of go sour. It did go sour because of this person. And I know I hear a lot about it, like friends breaking up friendships because of people, what they don't like, and blase. I totally understand it now, because she didn't think that the person was right for me, which he wasn't, obviously, but now I know. Didn't take me long to realize. But it's a learning. Like, I literally had to butt my head. And like, so that's a second thing they do. They keep you away. They get you away from people who care about you. So that's 2 best friends that I had, plus the ex-guy that I was with. So those are the 3 people who cared about me that I couldn't see at that time, because he got me away from those people. So I was literally in a bubble all 3 months, in a bubble, because I couldn't reach out to her, couldn't reach out to him, most definitely couldn't reach out to him. So and it just got so bad that I started being the blame of everything. You did this, you did that, this is your fault this, your fault that. And I'm like, how is this my fault? Like, I ain't never had to deal with no situation like this until I met you. You're people this, you're people that. And I'm like, excuse me, motherfucker. Like, and I'm just sitting here, but I'm like, okay, well, I mean, we did get into it, and it does seem like the points he's making at the time were, factual, but learning that it was just all part of what narcissists do. So yeah, I fell out with my friends. Woo! So then the next part. It's so much, and I'm probably even missing some shit. So if anyone has any questions or want to know more, if I can explain more, please let me know, because like I said, it's a lot. These motherfuckers, like, narcissism should really be like a fucking crime. Like, it's bad. Like, motherfuckers could fuck over people, fuck them up mentally. And I'ma let you know this. Like, I'm halfway through the story, but I am not the same woman I was when I got into that relationship that I am now. And that's just factual. I want to, I'm growing. I'm growing as a woman. But that motherfucker broke me down, and I am not afraid to say, as a person, he broke me. Like, that's what they do. And it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing. Like, I can't even believe I endured all that. I've had bad situations before, but those situations, this is by far the worst situation I've been in as far as relationships with people. This is by far the worst. And it's sad that people could just walk around doing this to good people, and especially women, vulnerable women, and not even women, men too, like vulnerable people. Because it's like he literally prayed thinking that I was something that I wasn't. Fool. So yeah, and I'm gonna save the next for part 2, but it's just sad how narcissists could just walk around freely. It should literally be a crime. It's a fucking disease. Like, they need mental help. They lie about everything, and they make everything seem like it's your fault. Everything in that 3 months was my fault. If he dropped a fucking piece of food on the floor, it was my fault. If he ran into something, it was my fault. Oh, let me tell you this, because this is another point of the story. So he let me drive his car, whatever, making it seem like he had the fanciest car, whatever. And I'm just like, it wasn't as fancy as what I was used to, but I was like, okay, you let me drive your car. I had a newer car too at the time. And he was like, I could park it in my garage or whatever, right? So I'm like, cool, whatever. I don't really care. It's a car as long as I get around. And I don't even know, like, I was joking when I asked him to let me drive his car, but he actually did. So I'm like, whatever. So he let me drive his shit car. I'm gonna call it a shit car because, yeah. He let me drive his shit car, and he made it seem like motherfuckers was gossiping like a motherfucker. Motherfuckers came to me talking like, this nigga said you had a dream car of his, like he has your dream car. I'm like, wait a minute. What? My dream car? Motherfucker, no, you don't have my dream car. Funny. It's just so fucking funny because I'm like, no, you don't have my fucking dream car. Like, nigga, is you serious? Like, are you fucking serious? And then motherfuckers was just like, yeah, I got her in that car and woo woo woo. Like, that was fucking something. And I'm like, this motherfucker must not know who I am, and like gossiping to motherfuckers like he was just doing it like motherfuckers had me and shit. And so I also got word from people that like he was recording us, like explicitly recording when we had, you know, and he was showing people. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that shit is weird. Like, I know people like record when they have sex or whatever, but unknowingly and then showing it to people, that shit's just weird. And it kind of like creeped me out from there. But this is after the situation, so that I find all this out. And then I heard he was FaceTiming people talking about, yeah, I'm at her house, and like just childish ass nigga weird ass shit. And it's just like, dude, is you serious? So so the karma's a motherfucker. This is how that karma works. So the car, he got me I got his car. Why the fuck somebody hit me and his car? Got into an accident. The accident wasn't my fault. Before then, I hadn't gotten into an accident. The accident wasn't my fault. Another point, you guys. This man told me he had $11,000 in his bank account. Now, anybody who has $11,000 in their bank account ain't no like broke ass motherfucker. Like, you know how to save, you know how to manage your money, or you must got a bunch of lump sum and you put it in there. This motherfucker told me he had $11,000 in his bank account. He works at Pick and Saves and makes $26 an hour because he's a manager. And I'm like, what a fucking joke. That shit's crazy. So then it's like, I just can't. I don't even have the energy to be mad at it no more. Like, I am above, like, they go low, we go high type shit. Like, because I just have no energy. So, anyway, got into the accident. And he was so upset at me. It was my fault. Again, and it really wasn't my fault. And it's like, if you have insurance and 11 G's in your bank account, it was like a fender bender type accident. What the fuck is you tripping for? If you supposed to be with somebody, or not even, I ain't even gonna say I was with this motherfucker, but if you're with someone, or you sleeping with somebody and they do something, you're supposed to have them. Shit, that's how it was for me. Shit. So it's like, he got so angry, and that was my fault. And then I'm going to end with this one because I'm going to save this for the second part. But he told me to, like, we were going to his people's house the day the car got wrecked. And he was like, please don't tell my people. Please don't tell my people about this. And I'm sitting here like, please don't tell your people about it. Why would they care? They came from money. You got this, you got that. Like, why would they care? Like, even the motherfuckers I'm around, if I wrecked my guy's shit right now, like, it's covered. Like, I didn't get that. So, so yeah, so I did, so that happened, and, He got so mad, and that accident was my fault as well. And that's, I just wanted to, like, that narcissists, they lie. Everything's your fault. You're to blame for everything. And they keep you away from the people who love you the most. And I'm going to end with that one on the first part. The second part, I'm going to get into, like, family and more into detail as physical and emotional hurt. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and like this video for more content, because after this I'm going to vlog a lot more because it's actually pretty fun. Just the editing part is not, but thank God I have friends in media. So I thank you guys for tuning in, and any questions, please leave comments, and any negative comments you could really leave it to yourself, because obviously this is not meant to be no, you know, video you get into it with somebody about. It's my story. So thank you guys. You guys have enjoy the rest of your day, and stay positive and stay away from bad people. Please. I would hate for somebody. I wouldn't wish this situation on my worst enemy. But all right, peace, y'all.